And if you go back to the definition of a publisher, it's someone who sells content, a book, music, whatever it is, a newspaper. And the history of publishing starts with people finding communities and selling content to them. The other side of the publishing model is selling access to that audience, the advertising side. And over the years, the advertising side of that business exploded, so that you had businesses that were primarily focused on advertisers, not readers. And that's where we ended up in about 2005, 2006, where newspapers and magazines were making huge amounts of money out of advertising and effectively running businesses that were driven by serving advertisers, not readers. Along comes the internet, does two things. One, makes access to people much easier, and also creates a huge amount of inventory for advertising. And what that did is actually destroy the franchise that most media companies, most publishers had, which was the ability to say, we are the only people who talk to this audience. So the mobile phone probably, because of its ability to create all this inventory, probably had a bigger impact on the world of publishing than the internet. So now you've got publishers trying to scramble to come up with a digital future. And they focused on the digital future being advertising. And it didn't work. And it didn't work for a number of reasons. One is called Facebook and one is called Google. So you saw this explosion of online inventory. So people in the publishing world chased clicks, page views, not readers. Pricing dropped because there was all this inventory. Digitally native new publishers come along like Quartz and Vox and BuzzFeed. And the whole industry got incredibly messy. Huge amount of cost to try and get these readers, and the advertising revenue just didn't come in. And in the meantime, the print advertising revenue has just dropped through the floor. So if you look at where they are today, publishers generally, and magazines and newspapers are both similar in this, they're now swinging back and focusing on readers. So you're starting to see print circulations declining, prices going up to make profit out of print. You're seeing paywalls online, which are trying to get readers to pay for content. You're seeing all of these other revenue streams coming out, like memberships, selling other products, so the t-shirt, the book, the hat, the travel, all of these sort of things. Publishers are having to think like agencies. They're having to create content, they're having to create engagement products for marketers. They're opening their own content studios, and they're looking more and more like advertising agencies. So you've got this optimization of the advertising side, which is now really about marketing budgets, and then you've got this focus on readers. So these businesses will be smaller over time, but they will be profitable. The ones that will survive, in my opinion, will be the ones that are distinct and offer value for their readers. But it's a reader proposition that will drive the profit for those, not an advertising proposition. There's a number of things that if you look forward you can see happening. One, in this process, what I call the death of the middleman. So the advertising agency world is in as much trouble as the publishing world because clients are building relationships directly with consumers. Celebrities are building direct relationship with consumers, which is really interesting. Taylor Swift hasn't done an interview in a newspaper or magazine for 2 years because she doesn't need to. She's got a bigger audience than most magazines online that she can talk to directly. She controls the message, she controls the visuals. So you've got this death of the middleman happening where celebrities and brands are going straight to consumers. So media has to work out what it does in that world. There are lots of examples of smaller players who are actually looking at this in a more optimistic way and saying, how do I engage my community that I understand, my readers, with marketers who want to engage with them and want to sell and interact with them. You can't just keep putting ads in front of people. It's got to be part of a story, it's got to be part of a narrative, it's got to play onto social, it's got to play onto Instagram, it's got to play onto Twitter, and how you sit there and work with marketers and explain how to engage with that audience is where the power and the revenue and the value is going to come from. One is we've migrated our readers from print to digital by creating a similar value set in print as in digital. So we didn't give away digital. We basically migrated people from a print to a digital product and kept the value proposition the same. We basically moved our print advertising business to being a marketing solutions business over time. We bought 2 agencies that we put into that business that helped us come up with solutions for clients and not just advertising. We do 100 events a year around the world. So we've basically migrated the audience to wherever they are, be that print, digital, video, audio. We're on Snapchat, so we've followed the audience. We've always been premium, we've always been paid. So that's been a relatively profitable transition. It's not been easy, but it's been a profitable transition. And then on the advertising side, we've moved from print advertising probably being 75% of our business to 30% of our business by building out all of this other stuff. It's hard work, it's not easy, there's less profit in it, but it's a valuable part of the business, even today and going forward.